All right. I believe it should be working now, guys. So I'm going to refresh my end really quick because I can't see if it's going or not. For whatever reason, I don't know why it's doing that. It's kind of weird. Um, okay, there we go. All right, perfect. It started. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know we've been doing a lot of live streams the past couple days in a row. But it seems like the algorithm really likes the live streams for some reason. For whatever reason, whenever we live stream, we always end up getting a bunch of people to end up joining. And so I'm kind of going to probably start doing daily live streams that last a minimum an hour at most, just to kind of get people engaged with, politics and as well keeping up with the channel, etc. So if you guys are in here, please like the stream. I see there's about 18 of you guys in here, so please make sure to like the video as soon as you join so we can get the algorithm going up as much as humanly possible. I know it's not going to match perfectly, but it would be nice to be able to get that exactly to match the viewer count as much as we possibly can. So guys, please hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to follow the Twitter, join the Discord in the description down below. And we're going to be getting into this, and the title of the stream is Can Biden Win 2024? That is the main thing that we're looking at. Can he win 2024? The problem with this is, right, this is his electoral map from 2020 on the 2024 presidential map. You can see he has 3 less electoral votes. Trump has 3 more because of reapportionment in the states, throughout, the last census. And we're going to be going over a couple of metrics to kind of show you guys, what possibly is going to happen with the next election and Biden's chances of being able to win 2024. Now, so first things first, guys. The first thing we're actually going to look at is something I didn't even have pulled up, is the approval rating. He is currently sitting at minus 15.4% in the approval rating. He is currently sitting at a 40.3% approval rating as of right now, which that is very, very interesting. If you look at the congressional vote nationwide, it is a tie, which I'm actually kind of surprised that it tied up. You could see here, I guess out of the most recent polls, it's been tying up quite significantly. And if we go over here, we can see clearly that there is Biden's not in a good spot, guys. What's up, Precision Politics? If all the holes aren't fixed since 2020, he surely can. Well, we're going to be discussing certain things. That's mainly what I'm going to go over. Oh, man, his lead in Pennsylvania actually increased. I wonder what they added into the aggregate. What did they add? Oh, they added the Fox News poll. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering why his average went up. What about the 5-way? Okay, he actually went higher in the 5-way race, but lost ground in the head-to-head matchup. So that's interesting. That probably means Pennsylvania is actually the most right-leaning state in the 5-way race. Yup, it is. That's interesting. It's kind of interesting because if you look at the head-to-head matchups, Pennsylvania is Trump's worst state. But when you do the 5-way race polling in the 3 Rust Belt states, Pennsylvania is actually Trump's best state, funny enough. Thank you for the sub. I just saw the subscriber count go up, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. But if we look here, the problem is that Biden's lead in all of the swing states, he's either outright losing them completely or is polling significantly worse compared to before. If you look at Pennsylvania in 2020, he was leading the aggregate by quite a bit. He ended up leading the aggregate by 2.3%. That was his smallest lead in the aggregate. Oh, actually, he ended up getting to 1.2. RCP was actually spot on in terms of the margin. In terms of the percentage, they were off, but in terms of the margin, they were actually completely spot on when it came to that. So that was pretty interesting. This was the only RCP aggregate that had the election like 100% right in Pennsylvania, and Trump kind of surged in the last couple days. However, if we look at this, it's still really bad because Clinton was ahead by a decent amount in the state, and Trump still ended up winning it. And the problem is that Biden's biggest lead in the entire aggregate since October of 2023, his biggest lead has been 0.7%. That's his biggest lead. right? In the entire aggregate has been that. And if you look at the five-way race, Trump has been leading for a pretty long time. He's been leading for a while. If you look, this was November of last year. There have only been a couple of five-way polls, which tend to be more accurate. But if you look at this, Trump is killing him in the five-way matchups. Even Bloomberg has Trump up by 9 points in the state when you look at a five-way race here. It is astonishing seeing that kind of lead in a place like Pennsylvania. And one of the main reasons you could point to this is definitely the approval rating. Biden's approval rating is 12 points lower than what it was. His approval rating was about it was about 52% on election day. So that's 12 points lower. And his disapproval was sitting around like 45, 46. And so that's 10 points higher. So there's been a net like 20 to 30 point shift against him. And that is a really bad sign for him. Guys, make sure if you are joining the stream to please hit the like button. We're currently at 43 concurrent viewers. So if you guys could hit the like button, I would really appreciate it so we can get the algorithm kind of putting the stream out there as much as we possibly can. So I would greatly appreciate that. Now, as we keep looking at this, you could see Biden's approval rating right around where the Afghanistan draw kind of happened is where his approval rating kind of started dipping. He became very unpopular in the middle of 2022. Red Facts versus Blue Fiction with Harry Z says, can you give any tips on election predictions? I thought about making an election prediction channel. I mean, the thing is, I've been studying this stuff for so long that I kind of know what I'm talking about for the most part and kind of how to read the data per se. So it's been a while, but I guess you just kind of have to watch a lot of videos that we do, like watch Red Eagle, watch me, watch Let's Talk Elections, watch Understand Politics, watch Election Time, watch all those channels and kind of see how we do it. And then you kind of go based off of that. Definitely start researching the issues, start researching a bunch of different things. David S says, who do you think is Trump's VP? It's hard, but I'm between either JD Vance, Ben Carson, or Lee Zeldin. I think it's going to be one of the three, but I may be wrong because Trump might pull out a wild card out of nowhere and just decide to end up picking somebody that nobody knows, like a Mike Pence, for example. I don't think he's going to pick somebody like Mike Pence, but I think that he could definitely pick a wild card candidate like that because Pence was somebody that no one thought he was going to pick at all. So, really, if you look at this, his approval rating is historically low. So, the only way that Biden would actually be able to win this election is actually if there was lower turnout. Funny enough, that is the actual, usually it's the other way around. For Republicans to win, there's got to be lower turnout. But this cycle, it's actually the opposite because as of recent, the registered voter polls actually look better for Trump than they do Biden, which is kind of funny because usually it's always been the other way around, but it's not now this time. Never ending and never ending era says, yo, how are you doing on point? I'm doing pretty good. You know, Buckeye Politics says we're so back. What's up, man? I actually saw I think I saw your latest video. I think I saw your election prediction. I saw your latest video today. I think you had Wisconsin, Michigan going red, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, but not Pennsylvania. I think I did see that today. The Mad Southern Scotsman says, enjoy your channel, data driven without the MSM influence. Keep it up. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. So, based off of that, if you look at his map here, this is a model that we use, right? This is a model that we basically use now that kind of determines whether or not, where the turnout could be, the margin in certain places, etc., especially among demographics like age, education, sex, income, race, and then shifting all voters a certain direction. That is also something that is on here too. So really looking at this, Biden has actually been found to be only winning. He was leading by 28 points in a poll in 2020, and now he's only leading that group by like 11. So if Biden were to face a big fallout with the voters to the extent of that margin, he would automatically be losing the electoral college. He already did. American Spiritual Politics says he's gonna pick Dixon. Really? I'd be very not like mad about that, but that should just be weird. I don't know. I've made predictions for elections so far. I have Trump 313 to Biden 225. Okay. Okay, I'm just joking, but I think Zeldin is likely in the front. I don't know if he's likely in the front, but I think he's got a chance at being the VP. That I do think is a possibility. I think he does have a chance at being the VP. I think if you're really looking at this, if Biden is suffering that much of a cutoff loss for those kind of voters, and if these voters don't turn out the same rate that they did, so let's say turnout drops like a couple points with these voters because a lot of young people are not voting, Trump automatically wins the electoral college while losing the popular vote by 2, which is what my model actually shows. My election prediction model shows that if Biden's winning the popular vote by 2, Trump's actually winning by this exact margin here, except Nebraska's second district, I think, goes Democrat. 2028 nominee predictions. I think Vivek has a great chance at being the nominee in 28 if he runs, and I think he might run. So if Vivek, under the assumption Vivek is running, I think Vivek has the nomination. And I think for the Democrats, I think Newsom is probably the nominee. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. And that's going to be an interesting election because I'd probably say that Vivek probably holds on to all the states Trump would win, except New Mexico and Arizona. Maybe you would have a scenario where like Vivek does really good with rural voters and he or Hispanic voters and he wins New Mexico but not Arizona. That'd actually be pretty funny if they switched. That'd be kind of hilarious if that actually happened, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Um but back to what we were discussing here. I don't know if we can predict 2020 as we don't know, but if Vivek runs again, I think he's got a good chance. Yeah, red facts. I know you mean that it would be that. Guys, make sure to please hit the like button as of right now. If you haven't already, please hit the like button whenever you get the chance while you're watching this. And so I predict Gavin Newsom versus Glenn Youngkin or Ron DeSantis. I don't think Glenn Youngkin's gonna run right now. I think he's gonna wait for that. And then Ron DeSantis, I think he's cooked politically. I mean, if it's him and Haley and like all the other neocons, and I guess DeSantis takes the nomination. But I'm not gonna lie, I think if Gavin runs against DeSantis, I think DeSantis might actually have a hard time despite what people are thinking. Even though objectively DeSantis is better than Newsom, I think Newsom could really hold the whole abortion thing to his neck and really screw him over. I feel like it'd really screw like somebody like DeSantis over. I think it'd be a big problem for him, to be completely honest. And it's just the truth. I think it would be a really big problem for DeSantis on the national level. I don't think it would work out for him at all, actually. If we go over here to the updated model, and we go over here and we kind of look at this right now, if I have Biden winning the popular vote by 4.5 points, he actually ends up winning only 293 to 245 according to the model. So he's already losing Wisconsin from 2020, which is funny. He's already losing Wisconsin according to the model if he wins the popular vote by the exact same amount. I even think if I have the model shift and he wins it by 5, I still think he even loses it. I mean, I could be wrong, but let's see. It's really close. It's like a zero point 0.2 victory for Biden. It's like super duper close. And North Carolina is still tilt red in that scenario. So it's like really, it's not looking good. And Pennsylvania is a tilt margin for Biden in that scenario. So that's not even looking good for him either. So already, according to the model, if he only wins that popular vote by 4.5 points, he's already doing significantly worse compared to before. He even, loses a couple of votes in like Illinois. He loses a couple votes in like Idaho. In a couple places, he's already doing pretty badly in some of these places. Really, what do you think about 1.14 states that are putting abortion on the ballot? Do you think that will help Biden? You see, the problem with that is that I think it's just I think voters down ballot are just gonna vote for the abortion initiative, but there's a bunch of people that could go vote for the abortion initiative and then just not vote for Biden. Like, there's gonna be people like that, so they can't really bank on these abortion initiatives helping, Biden for the most part. I don't think they should be relying on that because I feel like if they do, they're gonna screw themselves in the foot. Or they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot, I'd say. But it's actually interesting because if you look at this, the model actually shows that Trump would more than likely win through this pathway, which seems very unconventional. But theoretically, Trump's pathway, according to the model, is Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Arizona instead of Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia, which I think is kind of funny. It may be due to the demographic shifts. Like, that might be it too. But based out of what my model is showing, it kind of shows that Georgia is still voting Democrat, even in like a D+4, D+3.5, it's still going blue, which is kind of interesting. It's probably accounting for the trends in the state. That's probably what it's doing. And then usually what I have it right now is that I have the electorate similar. Like if it's a 4.5 victory for Biden, roughly the same demographics come out for Biden in 2024. But as the popular vote gets redder, the demographic shifts, so the states get redder overall. So like at a certain point, Georgia votes to the right of Arizona after like shifting the results a couple points to the right. But even if you look at this, for example, right, 313 to 225, if I were to shift this, literally shift this to a minus 2.5 national environment, if we were to just shift it by it to that margin, Trump is winning these states. He's winning all of these. He is winning Nevada. He's winning Wisconsin. He's winning Pennsylvania. Even Nebraska's second is within a couple points. So the model is not that off. This is what the map looks like if it's a Biden +2 popular vote. If Trump wins the popular vote, what do you think his chances are winning? For me, probably near 100% is never guaranteed, but near 100%. Well, the problem with that is that I think it would be very likely that he wins, but we got to be careful with that because if you look at this, right, for example, if we look at, let's say, like right now, let's look at this. So theoretically, if Trump is, for example, if he's winning the popular, let's say he's winning it by, let's say if it's tilt or the national environment's tied, right? So he'd probably be doing really good in some of these states. Georgia starts voting to the right of Arizona. Michigan is lean. Wisconsin's likely. Pennsylvania's likely. North Carolina's an 8-point win. New Hampshire's pretty close. Recon Pro says hi, hello. Will you ever collab with Ready Go Politics talking about the election? I mean, I've told him that I want to do a show someday. He's told me that we'll be doing that in the future. So hopefully we'll be on that at some point. But again, I know he's busy and he's got his own stuff. So we'll be doing that whenever we get the chance. Probably closer to the election is more than likely that would happen. That's probably when that's going to happen, is probably closer to the election. But what I'm going to show you guys is that if you shift the three biggest states or the four biggest states to the model at a tied national popular vote. So let's go to Texas, for example. If we could find it really quick here, it's a 12-point win. So if we go and shift this to a 12-point win for Trump, the popular vote gets cut down below a point already. If we go to California, the margin currently has it right now at 22 points. And if we go over here and we look at the election shuffler, we select all the counties and we shift the state to a 22-point win for Biden. That cuts down the margin even more in the popular vote. And if we go to New York and we look at the margin here, it says that the margin in New York is about a 15-point win for Biden. And so, literally just shifting these four states to what the model is showing right now, that puts Biden's popular vote lead at just 2.2%, which is right around where Clinton won by in 2016. So, if for whatever reason, only the big states shift right and all the other states stay stagnant, Biden could still win the electoral college in a D+2 popular vote. However, if the popular vote is shifting to the right, more than likely a lot of rural places will be shifting to the right. Because if you look at 2020, for example, if you see this, a lot of rural states ended up getting slightly closer in 2020. For example, Oklahoma was a 36-point win. He ended up winning it by 33. So actually, if we look at the shifts, you could actually see the shifts here. So basically, everything was uniform. Utah kind of shifted to the right mainly because of the fact that Trump and Biden, there was way less third party votes. You see McMullen drops like 21% there. So that kind of helped him. California actually shifted slightly to the right, which is kind of funny. Nevada ended up shifting slightly to the right by like literally barely anything. Arkansas did. Illinois did, apparently. DC even shifted to the right. Florida also kind of shifted to the right like a tiny bit as well. Biden barely shifted the state like half a point to the left. Ohio barely shifted to the left. Nebraska's third shifted a point to the left. But you can see there's a uniform swing in a bunch of these states. Georgia was a pretty big swing, and a lot of the northeastern states kind of shifted to the left by quite a bit. And Minnesota did. Kansas did by a lot. Colorado shifted to the left quite extensively, and Oregon did too. But you could see there's kind of a uniform shift. And if you look at 2016, there is sort of a uniform shift. You could see a lot of the rural states kind of did also shift to the right as well, especially a place like Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, a lot of these. So usually if there is a popular vote shift, the big city areas are not necessarily going to be the only places that shift. So if, to answer your question, if Trump is winning the popular vote, his chances of winning the election are really high. They're really, really high. So let's see. How is the house looking right now? I'm curious. Right now, I have the house at 224 to 210 for Republicans as of right now. I think Trump can flip Minnesota because Biden's only up by 2 points and the margin error is 4.7. I think if there's a really high third party vote share, I think they can probably do that. Arger man down 20 it says we must jail him. He's a real establishment. Oh boy. You should go to the Harvard polls. You should be surprised at what they're saying 2024 Harvard polls. Let's look at those. Harvard polling 2024. What the hell? What? Oh, hell no. That's really bad because if Biden, yeah, because his lead with women is actually lower than what it was before. So if we were to apply this here, I mean, Biden would obviously be winning the electoral college in a landslide if that were to be the case. It would be a landslide election, but in reality, he ended up winning. Or what was it that he let me see something. So 35-point lead with them in the polls, but Biden was leading by 26. Whoa, that's crazy. Look at that. You see how polling error, you see how bad that is? That's a horrible polling miss. That's terrible. That's a horrible polling miss. Look at that. Bro, he wins Tennessee. He even loses Alabama by like half a point. Nebraska's first. He actually wins it by like 3 points. He loses Kentucky by less than a point. He loses South Dakota by a point or a point and change. He loses Arkansas by 3, Idaho by 6. Like, what is this, bro? This is terrible. This is actually, that poll's terrible. And now, if you were to look at that polling miss, there was like a 30-point polling miss with that demographic. And if you look at the shift here, Biden won the female vote by 13. So that's like a 20-point miss. So if you were to apply that same polling error to all the pollsters, Trump is actually winning according to this poll. If you were to apply that polling error by the opposite margin, he'd be winning a bunch of different states and he'd be winning the popular vote by like 22 points. So the fact that that's even a real poll is that's disgusting. That's terrible. That's really bad. That's a shame. It really is. Like people are not taking their jobs seriously whatsoever. That's actually disgusting. That's terrible. That is actually so bad. That's not even funny, man. That's literally terrible. So already Biden has the problem with Wisconsin. I think he's DOA there no matter what. No matter what happens, I think he goes down. Anyone is still undecided at this point is truly sad. A shift had FPJ head first. Okay. Guys, make sure to hit the like button whenever you can. I know that not everyone's going to be able to hit it, but we're only at 28 likes and there's 79 people in here. So you guys can hit the like button. Please do so. From now on, whenever you join the stream, just as soon as you join, just hit the like button. Even if you get here before, hit the like button. Like that, just to help us out in the algorithm as much as you guys possibly can. And so that's the thing. That already shifts this by a couple points. And I can't do multiple states at once. Or can I? No, I can't. I can't do multiple. I wish you could do multiple states at once here, but it's not feasible. And like Wisconsin, for example, Trump needs to make very minor gains in the state. If he shifts all the counties by like a point to the right, if he literally shifts everything. Here's the thing. If he shifts everything a point in his favor, Trump already wins the state. He already wins. If he shifts every county by a point to the right, he already wins. And Dane is a 52-point victory for Biden. And I expect this to get a tad bit closer. We could actually look at the county margins, funny enough. If we go to my Wisconsin model, oh, that's the data analyst Connor's model. Let me see my 2024 turnout model. If you were to actually go here and look at the margins, Trump is supposed to be winning the state by quite a bit. He's supposed to be ahead by 7. So that's really bad. And Biden leading by 5 in a Marist poll with RFK. Oh yeah, isn't that poll that came out that had Biden up by more with third parties? Bro, that's like an outlier poll. He's like the only poll that's the only poll that has helped Biden with third party votes included in the past like half of the year. You think that the abortion statement has hurt Trump of the swing in the more left swing in polls? Nah, I don't think that's hurt him because the polls were already shifting beforehand. So that the polls were already shifting before that. I actually think if anything that stopped the bleeding in some of the polls, which is actually quite funny. That actually probably stopped the bleeding in some polls, believe it or not. I actually think that helped him. 13 keys to White House of Alan Lichtman favors Biden. The thing is, I could look at the keys again, but like the problem with that model is that it merely predicts the popular vote. And because he's been wrong once, theoretically, he's been wrong in 2000. Everyone says he's been accurate every single election, and he has been for most. But in 20 in and what is it called? In this election, the problem that he has is that there is an incumbent president running against a former president, which theoretically his model went back to 1956 and predicted every single election since 1860. So theoretically, you could say, okay, well, Eisenhower and this other guy ran against each other twice, and he must have gotten that he must have gotten that right twice. But the problem with that is that right now we're in a very, very like it's very historically unprecedented because back then they were two relatively well-known politicians slash military generals at the time. Trump is an anomaly in the electoral process. And so that model merely usually only predicts the popular vote for the most part. That usually what it predicts because in 2000 he had Gore winning, and yes, Gore did win. He won the popular vote, but since the election is so close, the model must have some form of statistical error. Now, the statistical error in that model it has to be pretty small because Florida was decided by like what 500 votes or something like that. Like, I mean, so it merely usually only predicts the popular vote. That's usually what it ends up doing. So if he has Biden winning for whatever reason, and also he changes the definitions of the ways he does it all the time, and he said that he doesn't think Afghanistan is enough of a crisis to be classified as a military failure because people are not going to remember it. That has to be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. So he already lost credibility in that department. Like, I think this might actually be the first year where he might be wrong. Lickman keeps flip-flopping to pedal in America. Trump is definitely done this time. I mean, yeah, it's true. Also, we had COVID we had it in 2020, so it's going to be different now. Yeah, that too. That's also the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing. Because theoretically, Biden probably still would have won the popular vote if it weren't for COVID. He probably still would have won the popular vote. So technically, Lichtman would have gotten the Biden victory correct in 2020. His keys wouldn't have really changed if there wasn't any COVID. They really wouldn't have. The keys would have been the same, but Trump would have more than likely won. So he probably would have gotten that wrong too. So that's the problem. How big of a deficit can Trump afford in the popular vote to still win the electoral college? Theoretically, Trump could lose the popular vote by 5 and still win the electoral college. That is kind of what the estimates have been from what I'm looking at. Because, for example, if, like, for whatever reason, right, let's say, we reset all counties, right? Let's say that's the case. And right now, Biden's ahead by 4.5 points. If he makes like 1% gains in all the Democratic states, but Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada all shift, and he ends up winning barely just to win, he could theoretically lose the popular vote by like 5, maybe even 5.5 points, and probably still win the electoral college. However, if he's losing the popular vote by 5.5, he'd probably wouldn't be winning the election through like Wisconsin, Georgia, and Arizona more than likely. That's probably what would be his path to victory, and maybe Pennsylvania gets included in that. I'm not 100% certain, but that's definitely what would we probably be looking at if that was the case. So that's another problem for him too. And so if you look at Wisconsin, the thing is that if Dane shifts literally like a point to the right, like just a tiny bit, if it shifts just 1 point to the right, look at this. Look how much, look how little it has to shift. If he shifts it, his lead already gets cut down to 1/6 of what it was. So if he makes a 1% gain statewide, if he literally just shifts everything by 1 point, he literally ends up winning by Trump ends up winning by the opposite margin. Like, look at this. It literally, the popular vote barely changes. It doesn't really change. If you look here, he needs to shift everything by, I think it's 3 points to win. Yeah, look, he shifts that by 3. That doesn't really affect the popular vote that much. If you look at Pennsylvania, if you were to shift Pennsylvania by literally just a point, 2 points to the right, just to get him enough to win, he also he wins here, and this is enough to get him to 270. This would have been enough to get him to 270 before. So Trump barely has to gain in the popular vote to win the electoral college. He literally barely has to gain anything. Because if he would have won these 3 states, even back then, he still would have won the electoral college regardless. So if you were to flip these and legit, like, basically the electorate has stayed exactly the same. The electorate has not even changed. And if we were to do it by the closest states, like if we were to just shift all of this by like a point, for example, to the right by 1, and have him winning by a little bit. We go to Georgia. Georgia also is only a one, even a 1 point shift, and Atlanta gives him the state, believe it or not, which is crazy. And if we look at Arizona, we shift everything by a point to the right. He also ends up winning Arizona too. So look how little the popular vote changed. Look how little it changed. Barely even changed. Barely. It was literally like a 50 something thousand vote difference. And he's won the electoral college already. He already won. And the popular vote has literally shifted like a tenth of a point to the right. Like not even a tenth of a point. Not even a tenth. Less than a tenth of a point. So that's how little room for error Biden has. So that's the problem. Biden already has a big problem here because if turnout is relatively high, maybe not as high as 2020, but maybe if it's still decently high, like if Trump is getting in the 70 millions, Biden's getting in the same range, Biden might be screwed because if you actually look at the new data, Trump is favored with newer voters. So the more new the voter is, the more likely they're actually going to vote for Trump. So at this point, it's really a matter because before Republicans would be scared to turn out voters. Now they're actually going to benefit from getting new people to vote. And another thing to prove this is that Pennsylvania has netted like a bunch of votes. Like Pennsylvania, like registration for Republicans has gotten super, super high. Like very, very high. Very, very, very high. Like I saw Red Eagle's video on it earlier, but I think Republicans have gained like a crazy amount. They've gained like a ridiculous amount in Pennsylvania. And it was funny because they actually what they actually ended up, I just want to election day to be here sick, both no matter what. Oh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Democrats had an advantage.
Look at this. So further, the comparison to last presidential cycle is particularly stark. Back during COVID, delayed voter registration deadline in May of 2020, the Democratic advantage was 800,000 votes. Today, it's 397,000 votes. They cut it in half. And the reason why this happened is because the governor of Pennsylvania was like, oh, well, what if we just had voter registration and then we'll get new Democrats? And that's what he did. Like when you go, and it's funny because he added it mostly by DMVs where people go get their license. So it's a bunch of younger people doing this too. A lot of the people who are causing this is a bunch of younger people because he put them in driver license registration places. And so what he did was he put automatic voter registration as an option for people to do when they get their license, and it backfired on them. They're all registering Republican, all of them. Look, in that time, more than 122,000 voters have joined the rolls, yet Dems have lost almost 200K and Republicans have gained that same amount. And independents rose by 100,000. So even though independents rose, the math is not looking good in Pennsylvania at all. It's not looking good for Biden whatsoever. It's really not looking good because that means that if that really happened, like if 500,000 votes really, if the registration league got cut down to by that little, that means that Biden could potentially end up losing the state upwards of 11 points. Almost by 11 points. Because if you were to shift this 500,000 votes in that direction, and actually it's not even high enough yet. Let me actually see. Because I'm trying to do the math. Like, what if Trump just gets every single voter? Yeah, he would basically be winning the state by 12 points. So the ceiling for Trump is extremely high. Now again, he's probably not going to gain all of those, but even if he gets half of that, even if he gets half of the new people, he still wins Pennsylvania by 5. He still wins it by 5. So that registration thing is a big problem. That's a big problem for Trump, or for Biden, excuse me. That's a major problem for him. Really, really bad. Now, again, I'm not going to say that every single county is going to shift to the right. That's not realistic. There will be some counties that shift to the left. But if 500,000 voters in a swing state have now closed the gap, or not 500, but 400,000. So I actually did the math wrong. So it's 400,000. He still, he still, guys, he still wins it by 8. And even if he gets half of that, he still wins the state by 3. So it's like Biden is already screwed here. He might be screwed in Pennsylvania. And what's actually funny is that if you look at the third way polling in all of the Rust Belt states, Biden's margin in Pennsylvania is actually the best one. Not a lot of people are talking about this. Look, Trump is tied in Wisconsin in the three-way race. Now, again, the polling error here tends to be pretty large, like 7 to 8 points. So if you were to apply that same polling error, Trump would be winning the state by 6 to 8 points. If you look at Michigan, right now, if you look at the five-way race, Trump is up by 2.3%. And if you look at Pennsylvania's five-way race, he's actually up by 2.6%. So in the five-way race, Trump's best Rust Belt state's actually Pennsylvania. And the reason why the polling might look this way is because voter registration has skyrocketed in the state. So this might have actually generally had an impact on how the state's voting. And the polling error in Pennsylvania, the RCP aggregate was spot on in 2020. Was spot on in 2020, basically. So if you were to use that fundamental, Trump would be winning the state by 2.6, which is roughly where I have it on here. He's winning it by about 3 points here. So that would mean that he probably wouldn't be winning every single new registration, but he'd still be doing pretty decent with them. I hope Trump can flip Nevada. I think he's gonna flip it. I think he is right now. Because if you look at Nevada, literally, guys, if he cuts down the lead below 5 in Clark, he wins. He already wins. Nevada is actually not as hard of a flip as people think it is. It's really not that hard. It's not. It's really not that difficult. It's actually going to be fairly easy for him to flip it. And that's not even counting Washoe County, which is also probably going to shift to the right too. That's not even counting that. That's not even counting that. So if Biden were to still win Clark by, like, let's say he wins it by 7, right? Look at that. The shift in Washoe alone already gives him the state. And if you were to shift every single county in the state by literally 1 point Republican, I think this state almost flips. See, it doesn't flip yet. Look, if you have to shift everything by 3 for him to be able to flip it, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what you had to do. You have to shift everything by 3. Let me see. Yeah, you have to shift everything by 3. So, rumors are swirling that Johnson's going to Texas to fundraise for Gonzalez. Wait, what? Mike Johnson is going to Texas for Gonzalez? Are you serious? Oh, come on. There's no way. Oh, man. I liked Mike too. I mean, he's not the worst, but he's definitely not as good as I thought he was going to be. I actually generally thought he was going to be decent, like pretty good, like for what we could have had, and he's been really bad. Um, who do you think Trump's VP will be? I've already said Ben Carson, Lee Zeldin, or JD Vance is definitely on my top picks for these 100%. That's where I think it might end up going, but again, I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens. But I think that's what I'm kind of thinking as the VPs for now. So So, as of right now, clearly it's already a bad sign for him. And in Georgia, here's the problem, guys. In Georgia, I'm not going to even look. Literally, all I'm going to look, I already did it. If you shift everything by 1 point to the right in Georgia, if you shift every county 1 point to the right, he actually wins. He wins already. He already wins Georgia. So literally based off of this map, the popular vote shifts 0.2% to the right by 300,000 votes, basically. And he wins Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, which is enough to win him the state overall. Is enough to even without Nevada. Let's say Nevada were to reset. Let's say Nevada ends up going back to where it was before. And actually, funny enough, the popular vote still. Let's say that happens, right? He still wins. Still wins. All he did was shift Pennsylvania, Georgia into his column, which is enough to get him over the finish line. And based out of voter registration here, and based out of low African American turnout in Georgia, he literally needs to shift the popular vote like 0.2% to win. So for Trump to win, the popular vote would basically guarantee his victory, pretty much. He pretty much would guarantee his victory. So is there a scenario where New York / Minnesota gets flipped? That is the hard one because Minnesota, you have the big city area, and in order to shift the state to the right based out of just the city areas would have to shift quite a bit to the right. Like they'd have to shift a lot to the right for Trump to even have a chance at winning. It would have to be pretty significantly like Hennepin would basically almost have to flip in order for this to happen. It would have to be pretty bad. Um, you see, yeah, he'd have to get Hennepin within 10 alone. If he were to not shift any other counties, he'd have to get Hennepin within 10 to even have a chance at flipping. So if the whole state shifts to the right, so basically, he'd have to shift every county by 8 points in order to win Minnesota. That's what would have to happen. He'd have to shift every single county by 8 points in order to win. Literally. So that's the problem with Minnesota. He would have to do extremely well. He'd have to lose Hennepin by 36. He'd have to lose Ramsey by 38. He'd have to do better everywhere. He wouldn't be able to afford a single mess up at all. He'd have to gain 200,000 from Biden. Now, if third party votes chip away from Biden, then there's a chance that it could work out. But I think it's going to be very, very hard. I think it's going to be difficult for Trump to flip Minnesota. I think it is. I think it's going to be quite difficult. Now, New York, guys, the thing with New York is that here's the problem. It's New York City. And there was a poll that had New York City as a 27-point win for Biden. But here's the problem. The Bronx was a 27-point win for Biden in that poll. Brooklyn was I think it was like a 38-point win for him. I think it was a 38-point win. Queens was an 11-point win for Biden. So he wins that by 11. New York ends up going down to a 52-point win. And I think Staten Island, Trump is up by 36. And let's say that these two shift to the right by like 10 points. Or maybe that shifts by 15. This shifts by 15 to the right. Let's say that happens, right? The state is still an 11-point win for Biden. So if he were to make all those gains in the city area, he'd still have to shift the rest of the state significantly Republican. He'd have to do, I'm going to do the math right now so I could see, you guys could see what he'd have to do. He'd have to do some ridiculous crap here. He'd have to basically get the results from that poll that came out in New York City. He'd have to match those results, which is not even guaranteed he does. I mean, maybe he does, but let's say he doesn't. Look at this. He literally has to shift every county. Even if he shifts every county by 8 points, he still loses the state by 8. He still loses it by 8 points, guys. So the possibility of Trump winning it's going to be extremely difficult. It's going to be incredibly hard for him to win New York. It's going to be almost damn near impossible. Now, is it going to get closer? Yeah, I mean, it can't get closer, and unless there's a big shift in New York City, it's going to be quite difficult for him to do this. It's going to be very hard. And a lot of these upper state counties shifted to the right. They shifted to the left, excuse me, as of now. Look, we keep shifting. Look, he'd have to shift all of the other counties by like 20 points just to win. He'd have to shift every county North State by 20 points and make all the gains in the New York City area just to win. And on top of that, if you actually want to look at this, he'd have to basically, he'd have to practically, if he wins the Bronx, it cuts his lead down to 20 points. So let's say he actually does it and wins every single area in this in here. Let's say he wins, like outright just wins everything here. That binds down to 13 points. He wins here, cuts his lead down to 9. We go to Kings, cuts down to his lead all the way. Look, even if Trump were to flip all of the major boroughs, he would still lose the state by 3 points. So you guys see how hard it is for Trump to actually win this shit? It's going to be pretty hard for him to win New York. If he does it, that means that Biden's turnout is going to have to be god awful. Biden would probably have to get like 65 million votes in the popular vote for even this to happen. And Trump would have to win like 75, maybe a little bit less than that. But Biden would have to at least get less than 65 million for this to happen. It's almost damn near impossible for him to do it. So, yes, it could get a lot closer. That's not a doubt. It could get a lot closer, but I don't think it's going to I don't think it's gonna flip, guys. I really don't think so. I don't think it's gonna flip this time. I really can't see it flipping. I just can't. And so the problem for Biden, the second problem, besides the fact that Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia were just way too close, the problem here is that Trump's math is actually really straightforward. It's not hard for Trump to win this. All he's got to do is flip Georgia and flip Pennsylvania, and that's it. He doesn't need anything else. He could literally flip Georgia, flip Pennsylvania, and he's the president. That's literally all he's got to do. And unfortunately for Biden, the one state where Republican registration is sky high is Pennsylvania. That is the problem for Biden. And it's also funny that that is the best state in the five-way race for Trump in the polling average. No one's realized that, but that's his biggest lead in any of the Rust Belt states in the three-way race. Yeah, I would say that Cali, New York are the main strongholds for Dems, but it would be a cool scenario. I mean, yeah, it would be cool, but it's just not realistic. Like, yes, Trump could go there and campaign, and I mean, now that he's going to court in New York, then I mean, yeah, I guess, like, might as well. You get whatever you can in, but not to be doing campaigns to try to win New York. Like, that's ridiculous. He should not be going there for that. He should be going there to save House races there. He should be going there to get the base riled up, to campaign nearby the Pennsylvania New Jersey border, to try to do something there. That would be useful. That would be useful to do. But oh, how Trump flips Colorado. Yeah, this is another problem, guys. The problem with this too is that Trump would have to basically shift every single county in the state by 15 points to win. He'd have to shift every single county by 15 to just barely win. So that's the other problem for him. He'd have to do very well in Colorado to win it. Florida, on the other hand, is not going to be a big issue. I mean, it's not going to really be a big deal. Currently, right now, if you want me guys to be honest with you, because really what's going on here is that you're not supposed to plug in. Like, if you look at this model, right? Like, if we go to the on point politics model, the whole point of this aggregate, the whole point of this is that you're supposed to just plug in the RCP aggregate and you're supposed to get the accurate results because this is supposed to account for polling errors. So right now Trump is up by 1 in the aggregate. So if we plug that in, it'll give us this. This is what it gives us in the results. And if we were to fill this out, because the model is supposed to account for polling errors. It's supposed to account for polling errors as much as possible because I reversed engineered the model to 2020, and that's what I've seen. I've seen that the model had to be reverse engineered in order for it to be accurate. And Gold Crown Politics is side of the model, which is over here on the bottom, because what happens is we get all the results from here, we get the results from mine, and then we average them out to get final results over here, and we use the same metrics to kind of gauge whether or not to kind of average out our results. Colorado is still a likely victory for Biden. Illinois, still an 8.5 win. New York, Trump is having a 13-point win, which is exactly what polling is looking at, by the way. Hey, I looked again at my 2012 to 2020 individual county trend RCP average popular vote model, and Utah flipped blue by a point. Any reason? At least pay attention. 828-32. Well, I don't think Utah's gonna flip right now, but I think in 32 maybe and 2032 may be a problem for Republicans in Utah, depending on who they run. Like, if they run a really unpopular Republican candidate, then that might be an issue for them. But other than that, I really don't know. Delaware and Connecticut seem to be double-digit victories, but they're like high victories. If you look at New Jersey, Biden's ahead there by 7, according to the model. Maine's first. If you go to Maine's first, it's right below this safe margin. Maine's second is safe. Maine at large is still a pretty good victory for Biden for some reason. I feel like there's something wrong with the aggregate there. I might have to fix that. I feel like I'm probably using the wrong one. Let me see. Go to K50. I think I'm definitely using the wrong one. K. Let me fix something really quick, guys. K51. That's why. Yeah, there you go. Fixed it. It's tilt. So, yeah, mains at large would be tilt. What is the electoral website? What electoral map website is this? This is yapms.com. If you actually go over here and you use this and you go to chart logo, you can actually apply my logo down here at the bottom. I actually forgot to turn it on. So, how in the world people vote for Biden? I mean, plus the border in Texas is a mess. Well, funny enough, Texas actually votes to the right of Florida on the model, which is interesting. Virginia here is shown as a 2.5 victory for Biden, which is what our current model actually has it, because I have a data analyst who goes through all the results right now, and so far that's actually what he has for Virginia. He has it at around that margin. Wisconsin, he has it way less red, but Pennsylvania, all of the swing states seem to be likely victories. As of right now, Hawaii is still safe, I believe. If we look at Hawaii, where is it? Yep, it's still a safe state, but it's only an 18-point win. Alaska is exactly 17 points. New Mexico is a 1-point win for Biden. Minnesota, as of right now, if we look at Minnesota, let's go to Minnesota. Where is it? Where is it? Is a 0.35 percentage point win. And if you look at New Hampshire, Biden is up by like a point or so there, and Nebraska's second. If we were to go there, Trump is winning it by a tilt margin. So plugging in the current polling aggregate with the third-party votes, Donald Trump is currently winning 313 to 225 in the Electoral College as of right now. Jaded McSwag says Hopium Overdrive. Why do you say that? Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think I'm selling Opium Overdrive right now? Wyoming like plus 53 per Trump. Yeah, I think it might be actually on this. Yeah, it is. It is actually. It is plus 53. So, and so currently right now, if you were to plug in that national average, and I could go here, I'm going to have to edit these polls very soon. I am going to have to edit these. I'm going to have to put in new polling averages here. But that's basically what this is showing. Trump is doing fairly well in these states. He's doing fairly well. And he's on track to win all the major swing states by more than 5 points. He's winning Georgia by 7.4, Arizona by 6.9, Michigan by 5.6. He's barely losing Maine and Minnesota. He's currently up in Pennsylvania by 6.4. He's currently up in Wisconsin by 7.1 as of right now. So, hey, what surprise state do you have for Biden? What surprise state do you have for Trump? The surprise state for Trump, I think, is New Mexico. And the surprise state for Biden, if there had to be a surprise state for Biden, I think it would be Texas. But, like, even that's like really extreme. I'd say if Biden had a surprise state, it'd probably have to be North Carolina. That's probably the surprise state for Biden if there is one, but I don't even think there is because his approval rating is way too low. Too good to be true. I mean, if you look at the aggregate, if you look, Trump has been underestimated multiple times in general election national polling, and right now he's ahead pretty convincingly in the national popular. He's ahead by a point in the five-way race. So if polls underestimate him by a couple of points, he's gonna win by a decent amount. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but you'd say Florida for Biden? Nah, I think there's no way that'd be a surprise state for him. I think Trump would have to. I think Trump would. I think more than likely Biden's surprise state would have to be North Carolina because that was the closest Republican state. And if Trump had a surprise state, it'd probably be New Mexico. That I think would be it. I think New York is gonna get closer. I just can't see it voting for. Um, I can't see it voting for Biden right now. I just can't. I can't see it voting for him right now. Now the problem is that what I might actually start doing is also, what are your thoughts on Trump flipping Virginia campaign in Leesburg, Fairfax area? They already have given Young in the office because Democrats are slowly falling off. Well, you got to understand that state races and federal races are way different. So just because they elect a Republican governor doesn't mean that they're going to be. Just because they elect a Republican governor doesn't mean they're going to elect Trump. That's that. There's not a strong correlation for that. That's the major problem. So when you look at that, you have to really be careful because just because a federal race goes a certain way doesn't mean that the actual race on the federal level or the state level is going to go a certain way. So just saying. What do you think Trump's chances of winning PA is? I think he's got a pretty good shot. I mean, he's not the heavy favorite. Like, it's not an 80% to 20%, but he's definitely the favorite to win it. I mean, Biden's approval rating is 12 points lower than what it was in 2020. And Republicans have gained in registration by four. They've narrowed the gap by 400,000 votes in the entire state. And so if you look at that and you just kind of do the math, it's going to be hard for Biden to win Pennsylvania again. It's going to be quite difficult because of that fact alone. So that's the big problem. So, really, Biden's chances of winning re-election are very slim, guys. It's very slim. Just how Trump had a very steep path to the presidency back in 2020, he is going to have a very steep path back to the retaining the presidency. And if you were to actually look at a realistic toss-up map, if you were to look at an actual toss-up map that would actually make sense, a legitimate toss-up map would probably look something like this. This is probably what an actual toss-up map should look like. You could even probably put New Mexico in the toss-up category even. I would put New Mexico in an expanded battleground map. Now, if I had to do a constrained battleground map, I'd say probably like maybe New Hampshire, New Mexico, maybe Minnesota would not be in the for sure to go. Maybe Georgia would be off, but like this is potentially the actual battleground map for the cycle. So Trump is right there. So unlike last cycles, Trump is actually in a pretty good spot to win the election compared to before, because before the toss-up map was okay, he doesn't have Texas for sure, he doesn't have Florida for sure, he doesn't have Ohio or Iowa, so he's all the way down at 158. So he's got to run the table here, got to run the table here, got to run it here, got to run it here, and then he's got to win one of the ones up here. But now that he's been in two cycles and he's shown he's consistently won those four states, his floor is really right here. So all he's got to do is just win Pennsylvania, and that's it. That's all he's got. That's all he's got to get. Literally, if he gets Pennsylvania, the election's completely over. That's all he needs. The approval falling off could have to do with a lot of young voters just leaving high school, seeing Sleepy Joe memes that have come out in the last 4 years. I mean, That's why I genuinely believe they're trying to ban TikTok. I think they're trying to ban TikTok because they've realized that it's helping Trump and RFK by a pretty decent amount with people around my age. I think that's legitimately I think that's actually a thing. I think they're trying to do the TikTok ban because they realize that it's been helping them. I think that same thing with Trump back in 2020. I mean, yeah, sure, TikTok can spy on data or whatever, but I think that the main reason why they didn't want it is because it was helping the opposing party. Back in 2020, TikTok helped Biden. Now it's the exact opposite. Now Trump is being helped by TikTok and the algorithm and the edits that people make because these edits get like, bro, the edits of Trump and Biden debating are the cool Trump aura edits or the Biden weird edits. Dude, they get like 2 to 5 million views each. They're not getting like 100,000 views each. They're getting like 2 to 8 million votes depending on the edit, and that's a decent amount of the electorate. That's like 5 to 10% of the electorate, and not everybody obviously is from the United States. But even if half of a 5 million viewed Trump edit, even if maybe a fourth of those are from the United States, maybe even 1/10 of those are from the United States, it's still a decent amount. That's at least over 100,000 voters. At least. And maybe it's a lot of people that are younger. So let's say maybe you cut that in half. That's still 50,000 votes. That's Trump's 2020 lost margin. So, and that's for one TikTok edit. I know it sounds crazy, but they're helping Trump way more than people think. TikTok is helping Trump a lot more than people think. And I think that's why they want it banned. I also think that they want it banned because the whole Bohemian Grove thing with Ryan Garcia, the boxer, that whole little phenomenon was kind of blowing up. And right after it started blowing up and people started posting about Bohemian Grove, the second that they started doing that, that's when the TikTok ban was getting proposed. It's not because this whole data spying and all that stuff and whatever. I actually have a pretty hot take, but I don't think it's as severe as people actually think. I think the main reason why they want the TikTok ban is so that people can not learn about Bohemian Grove, and I think they just don't want Trump and RFK to boost from it. I think that's what it is. That's just my take. You guys could disagree with me, but that's my take on the whole TikTok ban thing. That's why I don't approve of it because it's pure politics and it's to help Biden. That's the only reason why they want to pass that. That's just my opinion. But it's already too late because YouTube Shorts also has a bunch of TikTok edits of Trump too and stuff like that. So YouTube Shorts, the whole social media algorithm this year is helping Trump. 100% it is. There's no question about that. TikTok or not TikTok. I mean, yes, of course, but there's a lot of people that vote just to go vote because oh my god, he looks so cool, or oh my god, the aura goes crazy. Like there's people like that. So there being TikToks and the whole kind of social media algorithm really in favor of Trump right now is actually going to help us a tiny bit more than you guys think it actually is. So that's another thing too. And it's funny because it's a lose-lose situation because right now Trump is being helped by TikTok, and if Biden were to somehow ban it, the problem is all the young people are gonna just vote, are gonna blame Biden for it because either way, he has to sign it into law. He'd have to sign it in. So even if a company had to buy out TikTok, even if that was the case, but a lot of young voters would still get mad. Even a bunch of liberal Democratic voters would probably not even vote for Biden. I actually think the way Trump wins the young vote is they ban TikTok. If they ban TikTok, I'd actually expect Trump to probably significantly boost. I know it sounds super stupid, but I think that if they ban TikTok, I think Trump plus 300 electoral votes is like instantly guaranteed. I think it would be guaranteed. I think if TikTok was banned, I think Trump automatically gets 312. I think Biden would be cooked if that happened. I think Biden would be absolutely cooked if they banned TikTok. I would say as a kid, I saw Joe Biden try to shake hands with the air. I would not be voting for him. So yeah, I agree. Like it's true. I mean, it's true. Like I mean, it's just the truth, man. Like, it's just a bad look. And then, like, social media kind of just boils down everything to, like, optics. That's all it does. We just hit 8.2K subscribers, by the way. So that's absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys. Whoever's new to the stream, Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please like the video. Make sure to follow the Twitter. Join the Discord in the description. I do call and stream sometimes. If you guys want to participate in that, go ahead and make sure to go do that as well. I will be ending the stream in a little bit. Not right now, but in probably 10 or 15 minutes, I'll probably be ending the stream as of right now. So, because I did say I would go about for like an hour, but I'll probably go for a little bit more as of right now. So, I'm going to check out something really quick first, actually, here, and then I will get back to you guys in just a second. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay. Um, Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. I've noticed for some reason the live streams bring in a lot of new people. Like if you guys are in the chat right now and you guys have never watched my videos before, let's see. I want to test this actually. You know what? Actually, I'll do a poll on this. Are you a new On Point Politics viewer? I'm actually gonna do a poll on this because I'm actually curious. I want to see this. I'm actually genuinely curious to see this. I want to see like how much of chat is a brand new vote is a brand new viewer. I actually want to see. Let's see. We're actually gonna see. Yeah, look, right now it's at 10 votes, and it's like I'm gonna let it come in. I'm not gonna end it, so you guys can respond to that. But it looks like it's like half and half. Yeah, that's a big difference. I've watched maybe two of your videos. I usually watch Ready Go Politics. Okay, all right, cool. Well, restore data. What do you think about the channel so far? Can you do more polls? Been here for a couple months. Recon Pro, I know you've been here for a little bit. I know you've been here for a bit. I know you have. Because I've recognized your name. I've seen you before. Um, I'm just really trying to gauge how many, because if that's the case, then there's quite a couple people in here that are new. There's a quite a significant amount of people that are brand new. Did people really subscribe unsubscribe because I just hit 8.2K and they just want me to go below 8 point, bro? Come on. Guys, come on, just resubscribe. Hi, Trump is coming to win Wildwood, New Jersey for a rally on the Wild Beach on May 11th. I was subscriber 7,943. Okay, cool. Thank you, man. Oh, yeah, okay. Divin says first time seeing this channel. Huh. Interesting. That's very interesting. It seems like the live streams get a lot of new viewers for some reason. That's very weird. Cause my videos, like if I look at people who are new and I look at people who are like returning viewers, there's always way more returning viewers than new viewers, like a significant, like it's 15-1 or like 10-1. But it seems like on the live streams, it's like half the audience is new, half the audience is people from before. So that's really interesting. I think I'm gonna try to live stream every single day because Mr. Bob says started watching you about 4 to 3 months. It must have been 3 months ago because I started the channel like 3.5 months. I technically started this channel before, but I rebranded onto On Point Politics at 72 subs, and then it kind of just took off from there. So Dibbin and Shorts get subscribers too. I might actually start posting more shorts. I actually haven't posted shorts in a while, so I might actually start doing those more often. But I'll think about it. But I actually do need to do those more often, believe it or not. I probably might even try to upload one tomorrow, even. So I'll see how that goes. Illinois just seems like that state. Yeah, I usually watch football for the whole year, but off season gets boring. So following politics is kind of like a side quest. Okay, there's a lot of people. I think even like Red Eagle and like Real American and like a lot of these people, a lot of them also watch sports a lot. I'm actually probably like one of the only people who does the politics stuff and doesn't watch the sports. I'm probably one of the only ones. Actually, funny enough. Yeah, YouTube Shorts gets more subs. I mean, yeah, I'm assuming it does, but I mean, I'm just surprised that there's that many new people in here. That it's almost like 50-50. So that's interesting. Um, I'm actually curious to see what chat thinks. I'm actually gonna do this because I'm actually curious to see what everybody thinks about these. So what we'll do is actually this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this kind of fun. So I'm gonna go from west to east. Who who will win Nevada? So Trump, Biden. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna poll you guys, and basically you guys have to answer like who do you think is gonna win each state, pretty much. So that's basically what we're gonna do right now. So just go ahead and vote on that, guys. As of right now, it seems like Trump's gonna very easily win Nevada in this poll. It seems like, so I'm probably gonna just fill it in red on the map. Um, yeah, it seems like he's going to. Thank you, Sir Flamelot. I appreciate that. I'm also more to the right as well, so please do New York. I mean, it could do New York for the sake of the video, but I mean, it's more than likely gonna go blue, guys. Like, I mean, I personally think it is. Maybe I'll probably do these. Like, I'll probably do it like this. Maybe I could do something like this. Okay, 32 votes. Trump is significantly ahead of Nevada, so he's got that no problem. And the audience, this audience is skewed to the right, so it's not going to be accurate, obviously. And I'm not asking you guys who you're going to vote for, but who will win Arizona? Trump, Biden, West, other. I'm actually gonna include third parties too, just to kind of factor in the third party aggregate as well. So you guys can go ahead and vote on that as well. So that's crazy. There's people who think that RFK has a higher statistical chance of winning Arizona than Biden. That's pretty interesting. So Arizona seems to be pretty comfortable for Biden according to you guys as of right now. So okay, that's I mean, yeah, that's pretty fair to say. I mean, Trump, I think there may be an issue with Trump in Arizona if Maricopa goes to the left, because if Maricopa goes to the left by 1 point, Trump has to do 3% better statewide in every other county. So that's the only problem for him. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Let's go Colorado. So who wins Colorado? Trump, Biden. This is like the first deep Democratic state um that is going to be voted on. So let's see what ends up happening here in this poll. I'm actually curious. I think Biden's going to win it comfortably. Yeah, everybody seems to agree that Colorado's probably going to go Democrat. Yeah, everybody's very comfortable. Wow, everybody's very comfortable actually that Biden's going to be able to win Colorado. I'm from Lucy. I plan on voting RFK because I can in good conscience vote for Trump or Biden. That said, I think Trump's going to win between 300 315 electoral votes. I actually have Trump winning 318 right now because I have him flipping all the major swing states plus Nebraska second and New Mexico. I actually think that he might be able to get New Mexico, but I'm not 100% certain. Maybe in the next prediction I probably change it back to blue, but we'll see. So it seems like everybody's pretty confident that Biden's going to win North Carolina. Um, all right, I'm going to do the next poll, which is for New Mexico. So I'm going to let you guys vote on that as well. So you guys can go ahead and fill that out too. Oh, okay, wow. Oh, wow, it's tied. Whoa. Okay, that was interesting. Ain't no way Trump's actually ahead. I'm gonna do the threshold at like 30 votes. I've been stopping it at like 30 votes. Whoever wants to vote, go ahead and do that now. Um, I usually wait until it hits like 30. So as of right now, it seems like Biden's probably gonna end up winning New Mexico in this scenario. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's got that. If we look at Minnesota, who Minnesota, Trump, Biden, RFK, other. Next poll, guys. Next one, I'm gonna do New Mexico. I just want to see what you guys think in terms of the race. I'm like genuinely curious to see what you guys think. Okay, so Trump's kind of ahead by like a decent amount. Trump's ahead by like 20-ish points or so. Okay, now it got closer. Minnesota also walking. What's your data that points to your New Mexico prediction, largely based on games with Hispanic voters? Yeah, pretty much. J Fried 19. That's basically it. Hispanic votes definitely influenced my prediction, but I might change it back since Trump's losing ground in the aggregate. He may, in fact, probably not be winning it by what I'm thinking. If it weren't for those cities and those suburbs, Minnesota would be an easy flip. Colorado used to be a solid Republican state. Then all the woke crowd moved there for marijuana. Yeah, okay. People actually think that Trump's gonna actually very easily win Minnesota. I mean, not very easily, but chat he won it with chat by 16. Let's look at Wisconsin. Wisconsin, Trump, Biden. Hey guys, for everybody who is new in here and who has not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. If you guys are just watching, please go ahead and subscribe. Please like the video. Make sure to follow Twitter. Go in the description, join the Discord so you could talk to all of us in the description down below. In the Discord, excuse me. So guys, if you guys want to go ahead and do that, please go ahead and do that right now. I would greatly appreciate your support. So guys, subscribe and like the video if you are new and you haven't done so yet. Yeah, everybody has Trump winning 96% chance in chat by like a decent amount. Now for Illinois. Illinois, let's see. Illinois. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. Curious to see what chat thinks. Okay, yeah, everybody pretty much has everybody's pretty confident that he's going to win Illinois. Everyone's pretty much pretty confident that he's going to win Illinois. All right, Michigan. I'm presumably people think that Trump's probably going to end up doing pretty good here, I expect. All right. Next up, Michigan. What are your thoughts on polling bias this cycle? Lots of them talk about how the polling underestimated Republicans in the midterms, but the opposite is true when Trump is on the ballot. What do you think? I think that Trump's going to get underestimated probably again. My model is actually accounting for that as well. So, because it auto corrects itself from the 2020 results based off of the reverse engineering that I did. So, it's probably going to account for that as well. And demographics are also accounted for too. So we'll see how accurate it ends up being. Hopefully, it does end up being pretty accurate. Because if it does, that would be awesome. That'd be pretty amazing. Thanks, Jay Fried. I appreciate that. West Virginia poll, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Really asked for a West Virginia poll. That's crazy. Uh, I know this is dumb, but Nebraska's second. I want to see what people think about Nebraska's second. I'm curious to see what people think about Nebraska's second district. Um, quick reminder that Outlook is a dork. Bro, what? Wow, a lot of people are voting RFK here. That's interesting. But it seems like Trump's going to be winning this relatively comfortably, it seems like. But a lot of people are voting for RFK here, so that's interesting. Hmm. Damn, okay. So he actually won that fairly easily. Um all right, so Georgia. All right, next up. What web do you use to create this map? I'm using yapamis.com, yet another political map simulator. That's what the site is called. Let's see. Yeah, so he's winning that fairly easily. So he's got that too. RFK actually has a decent amount of support there. That's kind of interesting. Let's go to Virginia. Virginia. Okay, so it's a close race here, it seems like. Okay, so everybody pretty much says Biden winning. Ooh, oh, Trump is actually ahead. Never mind. Oh, damn. Okay. Trump's ahead in Virginia. All right, next poll. Let's see. Oh, wow. Everybody pretty much has him winning pretty comfortably. Okay, 43 votes. And yeah, Trump won that pretty easily. Now for the big one, New York. Let's see what happens. I forgot to add RFK, but it's okay. Hmm. I want to see if more people end up voting on this poll. I'm kind of curious to see what people think. It's at 38 votes in chat, so. Hmm. Damn. Okay. Well, it's exactly 60 to 40. So chat's pretty divided on who's going to win New York. So that's interesting. And presumably New Jersey would go. So last two, Maine at large. Oh, I'm actually kind of curious to see what you guys think. For I'm actually curious to see what you guys think for this, because RFK could get a decent amount of the vote share here. So, election prediction official is pretty good. I actually really like him. I wish I could collab with him someday. I hope I get to collab with election prediction official. I've been trying to collab with him for a while now. So, okay, well, presumably, yeah, okay, so it's lean. And then you let's see. I've been trying to. Yeah, chat and everybody in chat said Trump's gonna win Maine. Is favored to win in Maine. Ooh, okay. New Hampshire is like a battle here. Okay. I'm gonna wait until it goes a little bit higher, because it seems like it's pretty divided right now. So I'm gonna wait until it gets to like 40-ish votes or so. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna wait until it gets to like four. Okay, there it goes. So Trump. Okay. Now New Jersey. I'm curious to see what people think about New Jersey because the polling has this pretty close. Let's see. Ooh. Oh. What? That's crazy. You guys are giving Trump a more of a statistical chance to win New Jersey than. Oh, wow. Okay, it just hit 50 exact. Oh, wow. It was a tie. Wow. I'm going to give it to Biden just because it shows up here as a tie. But damn. Wow, that's interesting. So literally the tied state is New Jersey. Oh my God. What the hell? Damn. That's insane. So right now, this is what everybody has it at. So that's weird that you guys think that. So you guys think Trump has a better chance at winning New Jersey than winning New Mexico? That's pretty interesting. All right, the guys. See you soon. Not gonna lie, guys. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. You guys have New Jersey closer than New Mexico. That's really interesting. I personally would think he has got a way better shot at winning New Mexico than New Jersey. I already did Minnesota. I think chat favored him by like 10 points or something like that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I'm going to do Senate. I'm actually curious to see what you guys think is going to happen in the Senate. I'm actually curious because a lot of people think that Montana's going to go blue or like, but that just doesn't make any sense. So I'll actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to do Senate. All right, here we go. So these are like all the major ones that are kind of up for grabs ish, sort of whatever. So actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do Senate. Yep, that's actually exactly what we're gonna do. Nevada Senate. Let me know if these are the incorrect options, but I think that these are gonna be like the top two choices there. I'm pretty sure. Let's see what happens. I'm actually curious to see what happens here. Oh wow, so everyone's pretty confident that Sam Brown's gonna win Nevada. Everyone seems very confident. What party? Thanks, Jake Hall. I appreciate that. Jay Fried. I'm not sure about the whole website thing. I gotta figure that out. So we'll see. I have to figure that out though. All right, so Chad basically has Sam Brown pretty favored to win the Senate race actually in terms of betting odds. He's pretty favored. Now Arizona. Oh my God, here we go. Let's see. Carrie Lake. All right. Well, here goes nothing. Let's see Arizona. Let's see what you guys think about Arizona. Oh, wow. That's actually a lot more redder than I thought it would be. Wow. A lot more people have it going redder than I thought. Whoa, what the hell? Damn, bro. 71% to 29%? I thought that would. What? No, damn, I thought that it would have been closer. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody seems to doom her for some reason. Now, what do you guys think about New Mexico? I actually don't know the candidates here, so you guys are gonna have to go ahead and fill that out. So in the Senate level, by the way, guys, when you guys are voting for this, it is if you guys are doing this, make sure that it's the Senate level that we're talking about, not the presidential race. This is for the Senate. So if you guys are voting, make sure to vote for that accordingly. I know I forgot to put that there, but it is for the Senate. So and it seems like people are confident that I mean, crap. Wow. Wow, they actually wow. Wow. So you guys have wow. Jesus. You guys have the Republican winning there like by a crap ton. I'm going to assume that Texas and Florida are basically safe. I guess you guys are going to probably more than likely have that safe. Now for Montana, let's see. Montana Senate race. John Tester, Tim Sheehy. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. I'm curious to see what you guys have it as. Oh, oh, I was like, is that tied? Wait, what? Bruh, ain't no way. How are you guys gonna have New Mexico going red on the Senate level, but not Montana? Valentine, Valentine, Valentine. Blue Montana, yeah. Red New Mexico, let's go. I know, like, it's so random. Like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. I'm gonna wait till it gets to 30 at least. Valentine, Valentine. It's tied right now. I literally can't decide because it's tied. Okay, well, it seems like okay. It seems like in the end, he barely wins that poll. Wow, it's literally tilt. So you guys have New Mexico flipping on the Senate level more than Montana, the guys? Like, come on. All right, let's do the Minnesota Senate race. Let's see what you guys think about this one. Personally, Amy Klobuchar is a pretty strong candidate, so more than likely, I probably see the Democrat more than likely end up winning it because she is a very big electoral juggernaut in the state. So I would honestly not be surprised if she ends up winning it. New thing coming hitting YouTube. I was a Trump supporter, now I'm voting for Biden. I see that more and more and more. What? Wait, you were a Trump supporter and now you're voting for Biden? New thing coming. What? Wow. Okay. Well. Okay. Well. Wisconsin Senate race. Eric Hove Day. All right. This one is interesting. I'm actually curious to see what you guys think for this one. I'm actually curious to see what you guys think. I'm actually curious. Oh, wow. You guys have them winning somewhat easily, actually. So you guys are pretty confident that one's going to flip? Well, so for some reason, people are more confident that Eric Hovde is going to beat Temi Baldwin than Sheehy beating Tester. That's very interesting. That's interesting. Fuck Valentine. Oh, ain't no way. No, no way, guys. Guys, come on. Are you guys serious? You guys are more confident that Michigan's gonna go Republican than Montana? What? What is up with chat, bro? What? Bro. No way, guys. Guys. I gotta see this. Bernie. I gotta see this. What is this gonna be? What is Ohio gonna end up being? Oh, okay. I was about to say, bro. I was like, ain't no way, boy. Okay, so I got a question. Why are you guys way more confident that Moreno is gonna beat Sherrod than Sheehy's gonna be Tester? I'm like genuinely curious. Because noticed that Montana is significantly closer than Ohio, even though they're probably relatively gonna vote in the same category due to the incumbents being Democrat. I'm actually really curious to know why you guys think that's the case because there's a very big difference there. Like the fact that Montana is the closest race on here so far is pretty hilarious. Let's see. No way. Oh, I was about to say. Okay, you guys have it relatively close. It's still pretty competitive. Oh my god. I'm actually curious to see what you guys think about Larry Hogan's chances in Maryland. That I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what you guys think about that. All right, guys. The Senate race in Pennsylvania. Go ahead and vote. Let's see what people think. I personally have Bob Casey still winning. I believe so. Oh, whoa. Okay, wow. People are very confident that McCormick's going to win Pennsylvania or that Casey's going to win it. Wow. So people are more confident. Wow. People are more confident that Bob Casey's going to win Pennsylvania than they are that Klobuchar is going to win re-election in Minnesota and that Tim Kaine's going to win re-election in Virginia. That's super interesting. That's very interesting. New Jersey Senate race. The incumbent, I think, is gonna run as an independent. So, oh boy, whoa! You guys are actually really confident that the Republican's gonna win here. That's interesting. You guys are very confident that the Republican's gonna win there. Bob Sweep, bro. Whoa. It is a cursed map. This is very cursed. Now let's look. Let's do Maryland. I'm actually curious. Let's see what people think in chat. I want to see. This was gonna be an interesting one. Oh my god, ain't no way, bro. Guys, bro. There's no way. Oh my god. Valentine. Oh. Wow. Okay, Gabriel, the reason why people are massively voting Republican on this is because of the fact that Larry Hogan is the former governor of Maryland and is now running for Senate against two Democratic candidates that are in a really divisive primary. So I'd suspect that the Senate race is going to be much closer than usual. I just don't think it's going to flip. I don't think it's going to flip. I don't think it is. Let's see. Let's see. No, guys. Bro, there's no way. Bro, bro, New York Senate race is not gonna go Republican, bro. Oh my god, there's no way. Bro, there's no way. Guys, I know they aren't happy, but like, damn, bro. Bro, come on. Come on, bro. Come on. Are you serious right now? Bro, bro, no way. This is this is such a cursed map, bro. This is such a cursed map. Main Senate race. You know what? I might as well do the polls in I might as well do a poll in California. And actually, I'm gonna do another poll. I'm gonna do a Mark Robinson versus Josh Stein poll. I'm actually curious to see what people think about that. Oh, guys, guys, Angus King is not gonna lose. Guys, this has to be the most cursed Senate map in the whole world. Guys, Angus King is an independent who's been there for years. Bro, there's no way. Yo, people are more yo, people are more confident that Angus King is gonna be defeated in Maine than they are about Montana going red. Bro, this is no, there's no way. Bro, ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Oh my god. I want to see, bro. I gotta see this. I have to see this now. What's California gonna be? What is it gonna be? No, no, no way, guys. Guys, stop. Guys, please stop. Please stop, bro. Please stop, bro. Please. It's not going, bro. The fact you guys even have it this close, there's actually no way. Guys, 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 there's actually no way. Bro, there's no way. Bro, you guys, guys, you can't be serious. Guys, come on. Guys, come on. Oh my god, there's actually no way, guys. Guys, you guys are more confident that California is gonna go red than Montana going red? How? How? How does that even, guys, how does that make sense? How? 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 Massachusetts? Who's running there? Come on. Come on. You guys have Minnesota blue and Virginia blue, and you guys are so confident Bob Casey's gonna win, but not California? I don't know. This is kind of, this is weird. I don't know, man. Me, come on. What do you mean? What? Bro, I know people don't like Adam Schiff, but like it's California. Bro, no, come on, come on. Stop Washington. Please stop, bro. Wow. This is crazy. So chat has the Senate at 62 seats. Oh my god. That wow. Wow. So the chat has the Senate at 62 seats. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. Wow. All right, guys. I think that's it for this live. I think I'm going to be done now. I will stream more than likely. Tomorrow I might actually not be able to stream, funny enough, because I'm gonna have to be going out later that day. So tomorrow night I might not be able to stream. However, I'm probably gonna be able to stream on Wednesday though, later on. So we'll see. But if you guys are new, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to hit the post bell notification, and make sure to follow Twitter and join the Discord in the description down below. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon.